Hello everyone, I'm Colin Thornton from Remax Sabre Realty in Port Coquitlam, BC. Today is Friday, June 14th, 2013. My videos will cover the answer to the questions that I most often hear on a daily basis. At the end of my video, I'll explain where you can submit your real estate questions to be answered. I was lucky enough to be able to be showing my first-time home buyers around today. That gave me an idea for today's video, tips and tricks to help the first-time home buyer. I'm first going to go over a few facts about home ownership and its benefits, as well as include a quick overview of the home purchasing process. Did you know that 2 out of 3 Canadian families own a home? That is one of the highest rates of home ownership in the world, and for a good reason. Real estate is a great investment. With increasing housing prices, it's all the more important for first-time homebuyers to get a foot on the first rung of the property ladder. If you want to make it big, about 80% of millionaires made their first million in real estate. So what are some of the advantages of becoming a homeowner today? Home ownership is the single largest source of savings for Canadian households. Your payments will build equity as opposed to renting, where your money goes towards the building owner. The return on investment for a house can be substantial. In Canada, there's not been a recorded 10-year period where average houses prices have not increased. Homeowners can use the equity in their home as security for other loans. Buying a home and building equity is the first step on the property ladder. It gets you into the housing market, keeps you in touch with increasing house prices, and puts you in a good position to trade up to a bigger and better home as your circumstances allow. Now, getting started, you're going to need to find yourself a realtor. Some people ask, do I really need my own exclusive buyer's agent? Why don't I just go to open houses and use the seller's agent? Well, it can make a huge difference. Consider this. When a famous sports personality like Wayne Gretzky enters into contract negotiations with his team management, is he going to use the team's agent? Certainly not. Gretzky is going to be hiring his own agent. If you were the defendant in a lawsuit, would you use the plaintiff's lawyer for your defense? Of course not. In real estate, we have a very similar situation. You need a realtor on your side. The second step in buying a new home should be to look at what you can actually afford and how you're going to pay for it. If you're like the majority of home buyers, you will have to finance your purchase with a mortgage loan. Get pre-approved by a mortgage broker. A mortgage pre-approval is when your lender has reviewed your basic financial information such as income, credit score, and current debts, and has determined the maximum amount of money they will lend you. You also need to figure out where you're going to get your down payment from. There are various sources available for your down payment. RRSP withdrawal. You can withdraw up to $25,000 per borrower to be used towards your down payment. The funds have to be repaid within 15 years, and you cannot take out RRSPs that haven't been in the account for at least 90 days. 2 is a gift. A most common way for first-time homebuyers is to receive a gift from family to help with the down payment. Borrowed funds. This is the most common with individuals who have good incomes and have money available on a line of credit. Sweat equity. Sweat equity is when you have assisted a builder in the building of your home. Now it's time to start looking for a home. The process of finding the right home can take anywhere from 1 day to more than a year. Take your time and know when to bite. With the right realtor, this will be a fun and rewarding experience. You'll know when you're getting a good deal. Now you've found the home you want. Let's write the offer. Writing an offer can seem scary, but if your realtor includes good subject clauses in the offer, it doesn't have to be. A subject is a requirement that must be met in order for you to proceed with the purchase. Removing subjects should only take place once you're absolutely sure you want to purchase the property. A few good examples of the most common subject clauses are subject to getting financing, subject to a home inspection, and subject to reviewing the bylaws and minutes of a strata property. There are countless number more of subject clauses that are available for you too. That's for your protection. Make sure to take your realtor's advice into consideration when writing your offer price. It is very uncommon for the first offer to be accepted, so be prepared to face a counteroffer. Sometimes multiple counteroffers may go back and forth before you and the seller have agreed to a price. Once the offer is accepted, it's time to begin financing. You should inform your mortgage broker as soon as you have an accepted offer so that they can get working on the financing right away. Your broker may need to update some of your documentation and will also need documents related to the property. Next, arrange for your home inspection. Usually, it is a good idea to make sure that your financing has been approved or that there is a strong chance of it happening before paying for an inspection, which usually costs anywhere from $450 and upwards. However, you will still need to give the inspector ample time to arrange a time to inspect the property, so make sure you discuss this with your realtor to figure out a proper time frame. Next, you're going to have to remove your subjects and provide a deposit. Removing subjects happens when you decide you are 100% committed to purchasing the property. You then remove all the subjects that protect the buyer, subject to financing, subject to inspection. You're happy with everything. Upon removing subjects, you will typically have 24 hours to provide a deposit check, and you are firm on the deal. Now that you are firm on the deal, you need to get prepared for the closing date that you specified on the contract. This will typically be 2 to 4 weeks after you have removed subjects, but can be longer depending on the preferences of both the buyer and the seller. Now, you're going to have to make sure you have some cash available for the closing costs. To complete the transfer of title into your name, you'll need to talk to a notary or a lawyer, which costs from about $1,000 to $1,200. If you're not a first-time homebuyer, you may not qualify for a property transfer tax exemption. In BC, property transfer tax is 1% on the first $200,000 of your purchase and 2% of the balance. However, in BC, if your purchase is less than $425,000, you will not have to pay property transfer tax, providing you are a first-time home buyer. It's time to move in. Usually on the day of closing, you'll get your keys or possession date. Make sure your realtor tells you when you're able to move in, as the seller may still be moving out in the morning of the possession date. The seller should have already cleaned out the house, but another clean won't hurt. You're done. You're now a homeowner. This is the quick summary of how to purchase a home. If you're thinking of purchasing a home within the next year or two, please do not hesitate to contact me. If you ever have any questions or if I can be of any assistance, please give me a call or email. So often I hear, well, I didn't want to bother you with, but honestly, I'm never too busy to answer any questions you might have, whether it be the value of the homes in your neighborhood, the value of homes in the areas that you're considering moving to, or any question in general. Making myself available to answer your questions, just part of the service that has contributed to our success over the past 35 years. Please consider me to be your best source for first-hand information. Now, remember to submit those questions to me through email at colin@thethorntongroup.ca, on Facebook at The Thornton Group, tweet me via Twitter at RealEstateBCNow, or you can check me out on our website at www.thethorntongroup.ca. Have a great day, everyone.